So this is the design that I did on this envelope. So go get yourself an envelope yourself and get the stamp set. So this is the stamp. I guess he's a little hamster. And get your black ink pad and ink him up. Make sure that the envelope, you've got this side down, and he will go in this corner right here. So the opposite of where you stamped the bird. And what I colored him in was that early espresso and the real red. So same thing that I did with the otter. You go darker on the outer edges. Don't forget the arm, and he's got a little foot right there on one side. And now you'll go lighter on the inside. And don't try not to color in his teeth. Now get your red, and I put his nose red, and also colored in the heart. Get your blender pen. Make sure your blender pen's all cleaned off, like always. Start with the black, not the black, the brown. Maybe give him even a little more hair up top. Maybe you just woke up. This arm. Don't forget about this foot right there. Clean off that brown. And do the inside. Amazes me how light it can get. I always think, oh no, I've done this too dark. But it always lightens the color when you water it down. Alright, now let's get his heart done. And his nose. And now, these are all the envelope designs that I did. You could come up with some other ones if you've got other small stamps. So for that next card, you'll just choose from one of these two designs to do, unless you just want to do something else. Alright, see you with the next design. Alright, we're going to finish up with our alligator 3x3 card. So, get the alligator stamp back out, and the halo, or not Hey Love, Hey Valentine out of the Halo stamp set. And we're going to stamp him in the black. You will need that Bermuda Bay punch out and the 3x6 Whisper White that has one of the little stencil squares on it. Your mini dimensionals, of course. And you will need the, I guess, the twine-like bows. And for your colors, you need, of course, the red, real red. And we need the Bermuda Bay back out for his hat. You need the early espresso brown. And you need the green, of course. The old olive is what that's called. And you need your blender pen. So let's start off with stamping him. I'm this is the trickiest part here. Make sure he's all inked. So his tail is going to come off on one of these lines. It's going to be in between that second and third scale. Should be right on the line, I think. And that should put him in the middle, hopefully. Lift off. And I'll just make sure we got everything here. Yep, that seems to be about it. So, here is the middle. So that puts him kind of in the middle there. So his tail, so try to aim for it to be at that tip of the second scale. Now, coloring him, just like I colored him with the lollipop treat holders, go with the green, go dark around his mouth and his shadow under his chin. For his eyelids and the shadows on his nose, those humps. And lightly fill in those empty white spaces. And I go a little dark around his hat. And then under his arms, around his belly. Don't forget about that one foot that's off in the back. Now go thick around his foot. I think about that shadow being on both sides of that crease. And of course, under his tail. And now just lightly fill in that empty space. And now fill in his his scales. Alright, now let's go do the brown. So we get early espresso out. And same thing that I did with the lollipop. Coloring, just color thickly on the lines itself. Because you kind of think about the scales doing a little scallop. That's how I see them, at least. So the shadow is going to be in that scoop. Now go over his scales with brown. Just lightly, don't go too hard. Just enough to mix the colors a little bit. And now all that's left is his hat. So I get the Bermuda Bay. I go thickly on the hearts. Now go grab your blender pen. Oh, no, I left that ink pad out. Close that up. Put that off to the side. So get your scrap piece. Make sure it's clean. Go on with your green. Careful not to color those teeth in again. And go back and forth in those shadows. Just don't go in one direction. Go back and forth so the shadow gets spread both ways. Don't forget to color in his eyelids. And don't forget about his hand. Cleaning off your blender pen, and we'll go to the brown. Go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Careful around his hands. And now go do the scales. So try just to do the tip of your blender pen when you're doing the scales so it doesn't bleed like that. Alright, now clean that off. So go back and like go around your blender pen. See how I'm turning it when you're clean. Alright, let's get that hat done. Clean again. And now do his hearts. And clean so it's ready for the next time you use it. Alright, so now you should have a fold line. I'm going to fold that in. And now for the inside, same black, color it in, and it's going to go right in the center inside. Make sure it's all done. And I just put it right in the center. And then the same thing, just don't rock it. And then lift off. And now, time for the finishing touches. Alright, make sure you've got the one that's has like the, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a crisper dots down the sides. Where on the other side it's kind of, you can feel it, it's rough. That's probably the best way to explain it. The rough side's going to go down, that's what you're going to stick your dimensionals on. And the smooth side is what's going to go on top. So get your mini dimensionals. And just like we've done all the other ones, put one in each corner and in the middle of each side. Already wanted to be overproductive. Peeled right off. Okay. There's that one. And that one did that too. I wish all dimensionals did that. Alright, now peel them off. And I will suggest, with such a big project like this, it might be best to do tweezers to get the dimensionals off. Because one time I did a bunch of dimensionals for a big art project, and my fingernails hurt afterwards. So if you're doing all of these in a row, I would definitely recommend getting some tweezers. Alright. So now try to get this centered. Make sure his tail isn't sticking out on the other side. There we go. And now get those twines, those bows, peel them off, and same with all the other ones, go in that right corner, top, and there we go, we have our alligator, and there's our center. So for the envelope, just go with the bird design or the hamster design. So thank you so much for doing these projects. I hope I made these steps very simple for you to follow.